managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, Pistols, and Pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
The Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Great to be with you. Ira and Corey are here. Hello, boys. How the heck are you?
We made it.
You all right?
We made it to studio. We made it to football season.
A little flustered? You feel all right? You never say that.
We made it to football season.
No, come on, buddy. You know, normally you wait till like they're actually kicking the ball off.
Yeah, it's a little less exciting this year, knowing that we're not going to. We'll see football when everybody watching this will see football, which will be kickoff at 3:30 on August 30th. But yeah, we made it, man. No more talk.
Luncheon was today.
Actually, it's a lot of talk.
Yeah, it's all it'll be. Yeah. That's Ira. That's Corey. The luncheon was today. They were there. We'll talk about it. Before we do, we have to say, yay, sausage! Thank our friends at Register Sausage, as always. Take it away, good sir.
I did the bun length over the weekend. I tweeted about it. The bun length was in play this weekend.
Why? What brought on the bun length?
I just haven't had them in a while.
Oh, okay.
And I looked at my registers, panel of different varieties there over at the local Publix, and I saw the bun length. I was like, you know what? I haven't done the bun length in a while. And honestly, we were talking about having hot dogs last week. I don't know why we were talking about Kim. We had a hankering for some hot dogs. And then we didn't have them, and I was like, "Oh wait, but I've got the buns,
I've got Register Sausage."
And man, it's quality. It's so good. You forget how good it is until you have. Every time you have it, you feel how good it is. I was actually just walking around Publix.
Yeah, your Publix has them.
I was hoping that somebody would stop me and ask if I had any in the
car,
because that's the thing. But no, nobody even asked me. So
I'll tell you this: the Publix that I go to, and I'll call them out. It's the Publix by I-10 on Mahan, because there's two on Mahan, but the one closer to I-10, their registers offering is horrible. I don't know. It's horrid. It's putrid. It's embarrassing. And I know there's somebody listening to this that knows the meat manager at Publix. Has to be.
Get it done.
Please talk to Mark or Becky, whoever is the meat manager at that Publix, and tell them that their registers offering is pitiful and pathetic, and it almost makes me not. In fact, it makes me. I'm not going to that Publix anymore. Until I get
Corey Clark boycott.
Yeah, well, that's right. Until I get notification that they've upped their registers game.
I can hear the frustration.
It's ridiculous.
Voice.
I'm still upset about it 4 days later.
But if you live in other parts of the country, you don't have to worry about all that. You just go to registermeats.com, where they always have a full supply. And you can have it shipped to your house. They've got different packages. They have the family packs. You can get all the different SKUs you want all in one time.
SKUs.
And it comes packed in a cooler and fresh. It's just like you picked it off the shelf. It's like you got it off the farm, actually. I think that's that's really what it's like. Go to registermeats.com.
You're picking registers off the tree?
Yes. That's
okay.
Florida Man in Alabama, thanks for becoming a new member here on YouTube. Ian McGregor, same to you. I see you guys in here all the time, but I guess you've upgraded here.
There you go. Smart.
You're in the green.
Now that it's football season.
Sydney wants to know when we do W's and L's. I'll be doing that on the JCS, not today, but maybe later in the week or next week, something like that. We have another one that we have to do just before the season.
And then Mike Myrick, who we have not put up to this, he just put in the chat. The fellas, my wife, started getting me the registers, and it is awesome. We'll take late adopters.
Yeah. Well, we're winning people over one by one. That's the whole object there with the advertising. So it's worked, I think, over the long haul.
We're here for you, Mike.
Did you guys learn anything today?
It's a blur, man. You talk to so many coaches in such a short period of time. It's like speed dating. There's it's great. That's one nice thing that Mike Norvell does at the start of preseason camp, is we get to talk to all the assistant coaches.
It's the only nice thing he does anymore.
Yeah, that's it. The rest of it's a joke. But no, it was good. It was Gus Malzahn. We got a good 10 minutes.
I saw it. I watched it. I listened to it. I thought he was he must have been buoyed by the lockout, knowing that there wasn't going to be another.
Yeah, he's in a better mood now.
He's feeling good.
Yeah.
He actually talked and said plenty of things. By the way, I thought he was good. I did get a sense when we were there, the one scrimmage, and we also know the role of the tight end in his offense, that he's excited. And I like that he calls them football players, that you got to be more of a football player when you play that position for him. And I think they got some dudes that will. So I'm kind of excited about that. It was interesting to talk, to listen to his answer there about that. They got, for those that don't know, 25 practices beginning tomorrow, and they're underway. And it will be a mystery as to what they look like, save for what they tell us post-practice, because media locked out for the entirety of practices, which it is what it is. Just noting that certainly marks a change from a year ago and from all the previous years, but that's where we're at. They carried it over from the spring. And so we're going to have to
one limited viewing opportunity tomorrow, Jeff. Don't forget that.
Oh, that's an exciting one.
Yeah. There will be.
You have to watch them stretch.
We'll see.
Okay.
So Ira will be at that limited viewing opportunity tomorrow. Corey, I guess you'll be there?
We'll see. It's so hot. I don't know. It's just so hot. It's so hot. I was going to ask you, though.
I'm going to miss the limited viewing opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I like the unlimited viewing opportunity was my favorite. How do you think you'd have done in speed dating?
I don't really even know what it is.
I think you sit, according to a 40-year-old virgin, that's the only time I've seen it in practice. You sit at a table for like 10 minutes, and then you go to another table, and you talk to someone else. And you just go around the room meeting people and figuring out who you have a connection with. But it's all sped up.
Can you take less than the 10 minutes? Like after 2
I would
minutes,
assume, but
away?
then I think the table you're supposed to go to next, they might still be talking, so you're just sitting there doing nothing, waiting. But yeah, I don't think I think I'm more of a slow burn guy. I don't know that I'm going to impress you right away in 10 minutes, right?
What if are you able to see the others at the other tables?
That's a great question because everybody's going to be in a race to get to table 12 or something.
It's a little bit like Oklahoma drills. Like you could count in the Oklahoma drill, like,
okay, who's in line for me?
I don't want any part of homeboy there at 4. So, but you know what? He's at number 5. He sucks. I'll blow him up. All right.
Yeah.
Don't
cut in front. Don't cut in front.
So then, if you see a very good looking woman who's 3 tables down, you could be talking to this one, but you're thinking, I can't wait to get over there.
You could just do a little hand motion.
Yeah.
6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. I'll be over there.
I'm just being courteous.
We all know what's going on here.
That's all this is. Well, we've made it. It's another season, Corey. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with your enthusiasm to start the show, which is that
you can tell. You can feed off my energy and enthusiasm, I hope.
It's a rare occurrence because you normally aren't excited 20 some odd practices away from the start of a season. Normally,
2024 changed me, man. Like I can't. I'm ready to. Even if it's not a good season,
didn't get excited about preseason.
I've never been
undefeated.
I've never been in a rush to talk about a new season more.
Oh yeah.
Because of last season. Yeah. So it's like so many people, and with good reason, ask, are they going to suck again? How good are they going to be? And it's like, man, I don't know. I won't be able to guess now either. But also, like, I'm ready to see. I'm ready for a new season to start, so we can put that in the rear view.
Yeah, and I think the only thing, if I was counseling Mike Norvell on the decision to keep the media out, if you are trying to move the conversation away from 2-10 and away from 2024, and Daryl Jackson talked about that. He's like, I'm sick of hearing about 2-10. I want and he, not that he was mad at anybody for bringing it up, it just they lived it. They want to get past it. The best way to do it would have been have us talking about what we saw of Deuce Robinson, what we saw of Squirrel White, what we saw of Usman Kroma, that would be, because as it is now, we'll still write about what people are saying about them, but it won't be quite the same as describing a run, describing a catch, describing a play on defense. So from that standpoint, you might have gotten a little bit more out of it, having some access. I'm not saying all access, but maybe a couple days or here and there. But that's his choice. Again, I think at this point now, I know what he said in the spring. I just think it's completely, he wants Alabama to not know anything about what they're doing. And that's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I get it. But it's going to be harder for us to move the conversation in earnest without seeing any of this.
I'm going to have to give some of the money back that DeBoer sent me. Because I told him, I'm like, look, man, I'm going to see everything.
You shouldn't joke, man, because there's people over there that literally will think.
That I'm good. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, look, we all have a price, but we weren't being offered anything.
If you don't think there are people in that building that think some people in the media either give or share or sell information.
Sell information?
There's a lot of paranoia.
Man, I would have loved to have been approached. I never was. Just to turn it down, I've never been approached. I don't know that anybody's ever been approached by other.
I got approached about 10 times last year.
Oh,
I'm not going to name the teams.
Oh, man.
But there were 10 times. Actually, Notre Dame didn't bother. Notre Dame was like, we're good.
If you had known where this was headed, you could have been like, I got to sold your soul.
They were just like, is this a long game? Or is this a rope-a-dope? These first 7 games, is that really?
Yeah, what are they really going to look like? This is all a joke, right? They're all setting us up with these games where they can't get first downs.
I know about the paranoia of which you speak, because I know that at one point somebody approached Tom because he was using his rangefinder.
Correct.
That cracked me up. That's one of my favorite moments ever.
Somebody else on our staff was
confronted. Well, that one was a little bit more nefarious, and I never would have forgiven it. So we probably don't need to go down that road because that's absurd.
That is funny, though. I mean, it's just such an it's an odd thing. If you're not used to, if you don't know golf and you see a mechanism like that, you're like, what is he doing? That looks like spyware stuff.
Well, it was funny.
But he was just trying to zone in on the offensive lineman from across the field.
Yeah, and then he would take notes, and then
are you
recording
looks like
that?
Spyware.
I can't see 60 yards. I was trying to see. Imagine, how much do you think you could get for that? Like, here they are in blocking drills, Dabo.
Yeah.
What do you say about $800 for this clip? Yeah. So no, not going to happen. And you will get, obviously the post-practice interviews is to that extent. I will say, and Tom and I did talk about this when we were speculating whether or not practice would open up, and I didn't think it would. I think that, Gus is pretty much in charge of that now. I would guess that Mike will be a little bit more forthcoming because he was in the spring. Like if you're going to have everybody to where they can't see it, then you're going to have to give something, or else it begets wild speculation and rumor. So my guess is that he will, because he did in the spring. To credit him with something there.
And we did tell Tony White we want to know who intercepts passes, who has big hits, who's getting the quarterback.
Anybody stand out in the room
right,
today that you took note? I love talking to Tony anytime it happens. He's always good.
This is how much these seasons just kind of roll into another one. Is I didn't realize that Tony White's wife and family are from Tonga, in the country Tonga. It is a country, the island in the Pacific. And so we're talking. I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure Florida State's had a couple guys that played that are from Tonga that played. It's like I feel like there was one just a few years ago, like maybe pre-COVID, that was from Tonga. And Papuchis is sitting right beside me. He goes, "Oh no, that was Lola Hea. That was last year." Like last year, they had a guy from Tonga, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was from 2018 or 19, the Taggart years, and it was last year. And it was a really cool story. He didn't know English till he got to California and was there to play football. But so that's how much these things roll into each other. So I learned that Tony White's wife and her family are from Tonga.
Let me ask you. I think. I sensed a lot of confidence. I mean, I think they like this team. I think if you had to pick an overall theme from across coaches from Gus, I mean, I thought Gus, there were a few times his eyes open talking about specific players.
Were you there? Did you record Gus?
I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Because I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah. And I asked him about Amari Williams, because Amari Williams was defensive end in the spring, but then they had to move back to tight end because he's going to do some of both. And you could just see his eyes kind of light up talking about, just different players. Chroma, just different guys, you could see that the excitement kind of it. And then, again, talking to Surtain and Cooper and talking about the DBs, like there's a lot of confidence in this group. Now, whether or not they're right, we'll find out on August 30th. But I do think they like what they put together. I mean, I think they feel good about this group of guys.
If you combine Charlotte, what we learned from Mike in Charlotte, and then, of course, talking to the players in Charlotte, and then what they said today, a couple of things seem to be pretty consistent, Ira. They love, and Gus brought this up a lot, they love that they have a bunch of guys that have played a lot of college football. Experience.
He must have mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
8 times.
Also, not just been in a college football program for 2 years or whatever,
succeeded.
But played games, lots of them. Played a lot of snaps.
That's come up quite a bit.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. And that's the thing. And I asked him about it because it's just, when you think about it, we can complain about all the problems with the transfer portal. And Lord knows a lot of FSU fans are not thrilled with the transfer portal after what happened last season. But the idea that you could just roll out there 3 senior receivers, and we'll see if Gavin Blackwell, how big of a role he has, but maybe he does. You just picked up a junior and a couple seniors that have played a ton of college football. And Blackwell was kind of the afterthought. But, a few years ago when he was a freshman, I think a redshirt freshman, he had like 20-something catches. So you can just walk into a new program, install a new offense, and just, and we've got these 3 22-year-old receivers or 21, 22-year-old receivers. It's cool that you're able to do that after a 2-10 season, because otherwise, the old days, you didn't have that luxury.
He seems encouraged by it. And that's true when you think about the offensive line, all of that experience. I know Herb Hand talked about this, and, one thing we know this in Charlotte, but they really, really love Pettibon. And we know Richie Leonard's a leader on that group too, but
Are we going with Pettibon or Pettibone?
Pettibon.
I think it's Pettibon, but I ended up feeling the need to say Pettibone.
I thought it was Richie Pettibone was the uncle or somebody, but it's Pettibon.
I think it's Pettibon.
Dude, we got so many questions on names of this team. We still
Proma. I'm not quite. Yeah, I'm not quite there with his first name, especially.
I almost wanted to ask Norvell during the press conference when he was talking about
Say his first name carefully.
First name?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they love Pettibon. It's come up a lot. I do know this, and you guys can go to Warchant. All the videos will be getting posted and some of them already have. In the case of Herb Hand, he doesn't want to rotate a bunch of guys. He hopes to have 8 guys that he really trusts, which means you have 3 backups to those 5 starters. And I was encouraged when I heard him talk about Lucas Simmons like this. I think a lot of people have wondered because remember when they got Lucas Simmons,
right.
Like that was a big deal, and that his footwork at that side, he's a size, it's a prototypical NFL tackle. He's not going to be a starter, it doesn't appear to be, but if he's even in position to be the first backup at tackle, that's a big deal. They're getting something out of a guy that everybody thought very highly of, and has been nothing so far.
And it's a big development because I don't feel like he was on that track under the former offensive line coach.
Oh, I know he wasn't. You're exactly right.
So that was what we talked about in the spring, like the night or December. One positive to bring in a bunch of new coaches is sometimes a different perspective, different set of eyes, different voice, reaches players differently. And if Lucas Simmons, yeah, man, you look at him physically, yeah, that would be awesome. That's what you want as a tackle. But as of months ago, it didn't sound like that was happening anytime soon. So, yeah, that was very notable that Herb Hand talked him up so much.
I was excited about that. Like, I expected him to talk highly of Richie and Pettibon, but I also knew he'd probably say something glowing about Otto, and he did, because Otto's going to be another one of those. Like, if you're looking at the starting 5, if you're trying to guess who the other 3 are going to be, that would be fill-ins there, I think you found, just by the way he talked about him, 2 of the 3 already, which is going to be Lucas and Otto.
You're talking about of the backups?
Yeah, of the backups, yeah. I think that's 2 of the 3, and we can start guessing about the others. But I think it's a big deal to kind of know that people got tired of, and Corey, you were chief amongst them, the constant rotating of people is unnecessary. We talked about it a lot. When you have a starting 5 that you like, they're your best 5, why the hell are we constantly rotating guys? Herb Hand doesn't sound like a guy that's going to do that.
Well, Gus certainly isn't going to put up with it. I mean, that's not his.
You don't think he'll have 5 running backs on the first drive against Alabama? Probably not. But you talk about Norvell's confidence. I think he's confident in the roster. I keep coming back to it though. I mean, he believes in Malzahn. They've known each other for 20 years. He believes that he's a good coordinator, going to have that offense at least competent to good. I think and why wouldn't he believe in Tony White? Like, I think he has the utmost confidence in his coaches, and this is not a shot at the guys he had, but clearly they're not as good as these guys are. I shouldn't say it clearly. In my opinion, Tony White is an upgrade over Adam Fuller, and I think that Herb Hand / Gus Malzahn is an upgrade over Alex Atkins / Mike Norvell. I think that's the truth, and I think he understands that. He's got some real dudes in that coaching room.
Well, he's excited about it at the very least.
Yeah, and I think when Malzahn, just going back to that experience stuff, he got so excited about Sawchuk. And the reason they wanted to go get Gavin Sawchuk was we need another guy. He didn't say this, but I felt like he was basically saying early in the season especially. He's like, but we need another guy that has done it at the highest levels. And Sawchuk's career it wasn't a linear ascent. He had a really good year, then he kind of dropped off last year with the injuries. But in terms of a guy who's played in big games, had 100-yard games against good opponents, that's a big deal. You added him. So again, I think I got the sense that Gus Malzahn is more excited right now about the personnel than he was in the spring. And part of that's probably because they've had more time to work on stuff, but also because they have added some nice pieces since the spring.
Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Hey everybody, this is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. Been in the industry now for 22 years. I just made the move over to the nation's largest retail lender, Cross Country Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is, again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
Florida man, why are you hobbling around like you got body slammed by a palm tree?
Well, I was boarding the house up for the hurricane, and Hank, my alligator, thought he would help.
Your alligator was helping?
Well, he was holding the ladder with his tail, but a gust of wind hit me like a jet ski at full throttle. Next thing you know, I'm airborne, plywood in hand, landing in the palmettos.
Florida man, have you been keeping up with your chiropractic adjustments?
I fell off track just like I fell off the ladder. Now my spine's more crooked than a pirate's treasure map.
Look, just like you prep your house for a hurricane, you gotta prep your body for the health storms life throws at you. Don't wait till your spine's blowing in the wind. Take action now.
You're right. I'm headed to Finn Chiropractic faster than Hank goes after a marshmallow.
Go to finnchiro.com, FENNCHIRO.com. That's finnchiro.com. Book your appointment now and take advantage of that online special.
I'm headed to Finn Chiropractic Boogity Boogity. Hank, get out of the cooler. That's for the hurricane party.
It's not just a drink, it's a vibe. Cool off all summer long with bold and beautiful cocktails from Café de Martín. Try the stunning berry champagne with flowers on top, a refreshing pineapple coconut margarita, and the all-new tamarindo sour, or our spicy cantarito. Available Tuesday through Friday for just $12.50. Take a trip to Peru this summer at Café de Martín in the Esposito Shopping Center. Online at cafedemartin.com.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
They begin practice tomorrow. Were you surprised when you looked at the schedule how quickly they're scrimmaging?
Yeah. Well, also there's two almost back-to-back.
Within a week. It's
the
like 5 days
5th and the 10th.
Yeah.
I maintain that, look, with that much experience and the need to have a real clear idea of who your ones are, and I think maybe, I'm speculating here, maybe a more intense level of practice, at least in terms of the amount of hitting they do to try them out. You know, it's not a bum. You're going to have to be ready to be violent day one, and hopefully I think that they wanted to hit the ground running and get after it right away. You only have 25 practices, so maybe that's an indicator.
Right, but on the flip side of that, you definitely don't want to come out of preseason camp banged up. And,
you don't.
And I think Malzahn actually touched on that, and just trying to be smart, getting as much – because he was talking about the guys that came in the summer, Chroma and some of those guys that you really don't know what they can do until you see them hit, but they do have to be smart about it. And that's going to be a fine balance. It's not as big a deal if you're opening with East Texas A&M. But you are opening with Alabama, so it becomes much more of a dicey issue.
I wonder if the calculation changes too, because you do technically, well, not technically, but theoretically, you have two scrimmages after Alabama. They're played as real games, but like maybe that's why you scrimmage a little earlier than normal, is because you have those two games in September that will be like scrimmages themselves, kind of. So you want to get it out of the way. And if people do get banged up, they're not banged up and missing the Alabama game if it's just a 10-day injury or something. Maybe, I don't know. Like their last scrimmage will be on the 10th, so they'll have 3 weeks to recover if it's a veteran.
I wonder though. I mean, I know it says that on the schedule their last scrimmage is on the 10th. I would think there'd be another.
You think they'd have something? Yeah, you're right.
Hard-hitting day.
Yeah. Well, if there's a weekend, I think it's like 3 days in a row where it says no availability, but doesn't say no practice. I have a feeling there might be something in there.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like one of those kind of control scrimmages where it's more like a walkthrough for the game.
Because that's the weekend before the game.
Right.
That's the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Because I was like, oh, I can make plans. No available. We don't have to do anything. I have to be in town. I have to be in the country. I can go back to Ireland for the week 0 game again.
No, but I if you marry it with the object of that offense, or one of the objects of that offense is certainly to have success running the football. You can only do that by being very physical and playing at tempo. Obviously, you got to get guys used to that after going to the ground, getting back up and going. And then I think on the other side of it, Tony White has said, and he said it when he first got here, you can't be a physical team without being physical in practice, without, hitting. Right. I mean, so he knows that defense. He's got to figure out who's what and what they're capable of. So I do think that'll be ramped up. We won't know. We'll have to speculate, but I do think that'll be ramped up. And you do take some chances. There are some risks that go with that, but that's football. I mean, that's my mentality now. I've always thought that's just football. You got to play your guys, and obviously somebody's going to get hurt. Just always happens in every camp in the NFL, happens in every camp in college. Somebody's, you knock on wood and you hope you don't have a rash of injuries. If you do, you're screwed.
You guys talk to plenty of fans, as I do as well. And I'm trying to get a sense of how many or what percentage do you think of fans are even opening their mind to the idea that this could be a decent football team? Like what I feel like there's a lot of people who are quick to let you know on social media or on message boards that they don't believe it. They think Mike Norvell can't get it done. They think this is a lost cause, and they want to move in a new direction. You hear from those people, but when you talk to people that you guys are friends with or people around town, like how many people are at least considering
decent
the possibility?
Or good?
Well, I mean, at least decent to good. That it won't be a bad football team. That Florida State's not still going in the wrong direction.
It's the reason I think it's a good question, Ira, is because if you're old school and you were accustomed to, a standard of excellence, which is 10 wins, then you're looking at this team as probably not going to meet that standard. Right. But if you're a little bit more pragmatic, let's say, or a bit of a realist after the catastrophe of a year ago, you might say, well, good to me for this year for now, and this better just be a stepping stone towards what we shoot for on an annual basis, would be 8 wins. Then I think there's some cautious optimism from that group. They would tell you, I could see it. I don't think they're optimistic that they're going to beat Alabama, Clemson, Florida, and Miami, but I think they feel like they could win all those other games. And if they're healthy and they execute, they play hard, that they maybe should win those other games. Who knows? You might pull an upset, maybe the home game against Miami, something like that. I've heard that, but I don't hear anybody who's, over the top, like, oh, well, they're going to compete to win the ACC. I don't think people feel that way. And so you wonder how much enthusiasm
I would say
have.
But I don't think you're even asking that. You're asking
that would be fine.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Not bad season. And I would say, I would honestly, if I talk to 100 fans, and I've talked to many more than that, guys, if you see me out, just talk to me. Just come up and talk to me. I'm not going to make eye contact, and I might not say anything back, but ask me questions. I would say out of 100 people I talk to, 75 of them are cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
Not for that, not for a 10-win season,
no,
but for a decent season. I think 75% to me are like, yeah, they could be, get a couple breaks, schedule's easier maybe. But then the problem is that it immediately turns to Alabama. And I would say it's less than 2% of people think they're going to beat Alabama.
Yeah, I think it's
I don't know that I've met anyone that has said they got, other than Castellanos. Right. I don't think we've met anyone that thinks they're going to beat Alabama.
There's some in the chat.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Gonna win. It's a low percentage that think they're going to beat Alabama.
Well, which is fine.
So it's like two competing thoughts, but they kind of go together because it's how you start the season.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I guess when you have conversations with people and when they say, what do you think could this season be? And I'm like, well, I think if things go well, if everything works the way they're hoping this is going to work, I think you'd be happy with 8-4 or 9-3. I think that would be like, this has been a success in terms of coming from 2-10. But then there will be people that jump in right away and say, well, how have we fallen to this point?
Well,
we're
we have
8-4. And it's like, man,
who cares? You did.
Like, you may have you may not have the car you want. You've got the car you've got. You may not live in the house you want to live in.
Well, it's like
in the house you live in.
It's like
this is where we are.
Laying down in a ditch with dirt all over you, and you're not going to get up because how did I even get here? It's like, it doesn't matter. Right. Stand up and go to the prairie. Like go wave down a car.
Go to the prairie.
Go try to find some civilization. Don't just lay in the ditch.
Go to the prairie.
And don't ask. Now's not the time to ask.
Corey's so online that he thinks if you're in a ditch, you must be out in the prairie in Kansas somewhere.
It's like
no way that's in civilization.
Yeah,
it's like an irrigation system going from farm to farm. They got to dig those little ditches, right, for the pipes. Guys, I mean, that's how I spent my teenage years.
Tom and I have done this before. It's hurtful, but to your point, Ira, here you go. Okay, so let's just use a 10-year sample size. Obviously, we know what they did in 2014. They were 13-1 and lost in the Rose Bowl semifinals. So you go 13 wins, 10 wins, 10 wins, 7 wins. These are all winning seasons. 7-6 wasn't pretty, but it's a winning season, I guess, when you throw in the Independence Bowl win. Then a 5-win season, then a 6-win season, then a 3-win season.
They won the Independence Bowl?
Yeah, against Southern Miss.
Oh, okay.
You guys were there.
Yeah, we were there. It was very cold.
I was thinking of the Shreve.
Yeah. Well, that it's the same thing.
They won the Shreve? I thought it was the one that Blackman threw 6 at picks.
That was UTEP. That was in El Paso.
Yeah, it was in El Paso.
Yeah. The mid
one
bowls.
sorry city to another sorry
the
city.
Mid-bowls all blend together.
Yeah, so that was a 7-win season. They had a losing record in the ACC that year. They went 3-5. But anyhow, so you go 13, 10, 10, 7, 5 wins, 6 wins, 3 wins, 5 wins, 10 wins, 13 wins, 2 wins. The point of that being that you, in the last 10 years, have had 5 losing seasons.
But you've also, that's it. I just did the math, and I think I'm right. It's 84 wins in 10 seasons. So you average 8.4 wins a year. We can do a lot of things with numbers, guys.
Yeah, but my point would be, and again, you look in those areas too, it's crazy. What's even more crazy, well, as crazy as 13-1 to 2-10, 8-0 to 1-7 in the conference is crazy. It's a roller coaster, and 50% of the time they've had a losing season. And the frustration is immense, and I think people are cautiously optimistic, especially if you're an optimist by nature. But the realist and the pragmatist in you says, I don't know, man, that 50% of the time they've kind of sucked for a decade. So it's hard. I don't get mad at anybody. If you're negative and you say, look, I think they're going to be 6-6, 7-5, and I'm not excited about that, I understand. If you're optimistic and say, look, they made a lot of changes. I think this guy had one blip on the radar, horrible year. I think he'll get back to 8-9 wins. I understand that too. I do. I don't get mad at anybody that comes up to me and has, because the first question I have for them when they ask me, hey, what do you think we're going to do this year? And, do you think we can be pretty good? I go, define your terms. What's pretty good to you? It's different for everybody. If you're old school, you're like, well, pretty good is 9 wins, 10 wins. I'll go, I don't think they're going to do that. And you say, well, God, we're going to suck? No, I don't think they're going to suck. 8-4, 7-5, somewhere in there. It's not the standard I think Florida State should be at. It's not a standard that will allow you to keep your job for long term.
You just laid in a ditch with dirt all over you. Like, it's the standard you find yourself in.
8-4, you're in the prairie.
You've made it to the prairie.
You dusted off.
Prairie. You found a
road.
Yeah, you found a road. You see a trucker coming down. He's probably not a killer.
Is that what we're going to do from here on out? Be like, guys, I think we find our way to the prairie this year.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to find a farmhouse.
Yeah.
But
there's running water. Get you some water.
But yeah, like
we used to be straight to the limo. Now we're straight out of the prairie.
Straight out of the prairie
to the farmhouse.
To civilization.
That's a hose.
Get out of the ditch.
That's a hose. Rinse yourself off, Corey.
Take a shower. There's some coffee when you get out.
We're gonna be all right.
But holy moly, because again, it's like when you go through 2-10, it recalibrates everything.
Yeah,
it's such a bizarre circumstance for any of us, including everybody watching this, to find yourself in. 2-10 doesn't happen to Florida State, so it's like we've all had to kind of recalibrate everything going into a new season.
Well, I think if you look at it from a big picture standpoint, you were 2-10. You have a head coach who's guaranteed $60 million. You couldn't fire him because of that.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this year, you're going to over $50 million, or somewhere in that ballpark. You're not going to want to fire him. You'd rather the best course for Florida State is for Mike Norvell to win enough games to get momentum so that he can keep recruiting, keep getting portal kids, and then translate a rebound season of 8-9 wins, which would be, I think, probably close to best case scenario, unless everything goes right. And then use that to take another step the next year. Like, that's got to be the hope. So if you're mad at 8-4, or if you're mad at 8-4, because that's not the Florida State standard, well, then listen, man, that's not reality. You owe this guy $60 million. Like, you could just be mad for the rest of your life. But the options were pay $60 million or hope that he can get to 8-4 so you could take another step the next year.
You can look at it like a stepping stone, though. You don't have to run down the street celebrating.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
No,
you're not. To me, the people that are hoping that Mike Norvell can do it and go 8-4, it's not because, okay, we're back or anything like that.
You're not back at 8-4.
It's just, okay, now you have a chance to survive. Like, there's a chance for you to survive.
You got some footing.
And not us to have to pay you $50 million.
And honestly, if he goes 9-3, might be time for another extension.
Yeah, that's a good call.
What do you go to 20 years? 20 years, $500 million?
I think his agent would. I think his agent would demand it.
Think about how alluring and appealing he would look taking a 2-win team to 9 wins. I mean, you're talking about one of the best
specials on it.
Yeah,
as he enters year 7, guys, Mike got it turned around.
Jimmy Sexton will be like, "Hey, the Jets are calling."
Yeah, the Jets are calling. He's going to reunite with Jermaine Johnson and Toafili.
By the way, the leverage that was gained by the undefeated regular season and conference championship victory will never exist again.
No, that's done.
Like
if
so
he gets a national championship
10-2 this year, and quite seriously, let's say a school of note in the SEC called him. I don't know. Lane Kiffin takes another job and Ole Miss calls, right? Yeah. Jimmy Sexton would call Florida State and be like, click.
Yeah, it'd be like, hello.
It'll never happen again, my man. That ship has sailed. Never. He could win 13 games 2 years in a row.
If he wins a national championship has an incredible run in a playoff, that's the only way.
What besides the number one class? Number one class in the country, Corey Clark.
Extending him.
Number one class.
Well, you would extend him eventually. You would extend him in 2030.
Maybe.
In 2030, if he's had back-to-back playoff years, you would extend him. But
top 3 classes.
Top 3 classes. Yeah, man.
Transfers are lining up.
Things can happen. You're in the SEC.
Click.
You've already made it to the SEC, man.
Yeah. You're talking years down the road.
I'm saying 2030.
Call Jimmy back and he picks up and oh, I didn't know if you caught that or not. Click.
Did that come through?
Again. Click. Never happening. Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory continues until 7 p.m. tonight. Thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. High temperatures reach up to 97. Winds out the west around 5 miles per hour. Chance of thunderstorms tonight. Lows dip down to about 76. Partly cloudy skies. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 98 degrees.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASE trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Honey, what are these mushrooms in our yard? Portobello?
Let me take a look. Oh,
shiitake.
I don't know, but our septic system is failing, and our whole yard smells like.
Should we try to cook these up and eat them tonight?
This is bad, Sheila.
Well, we better fix it soon, or we're going to be in deep.
Sheila, look, it's Crud Septic. Our prayers are answered.
Call Crud Septic Service today. Pump outs, installs, repairs. CrudSeptic.com. That's CrudSeptic.com.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? It says, keep off the grass. Oh, but I just wanted to feel it. Excuse me? I wanted to feel what it was like to have an amazing lawn like you do. It always looks so good, even in the summertime. How do you do it, neighbor? They're called Lawn Johns. They come once a week. Maybe you should give them a call so you can tell other people to stay off your lawn. How's that sound? Ooh, yes. I would love to tell people to stay off my lawn.
For the very best in lawn care, call the Lawn Johns at 850-322-2567.
Stay off my lawn.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch A Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
We made it to the prairie. We made it out of the prairie.
Yeah.
To a farmhouse.
We'll try to get to the prairie.
If they win 8 games, we should just have shirts for Seminole Headlines. It's just a picture of a farmhouse in the distance.
Yeah, with a ditch in the foreground, or in the foreground. That's what you've climbed out of.
It could be first person. The ditch could be behind us.
So they have us running. Are we running?
We're running towards the prairie. The sun is coming. Away from the prairie towards the farmhouse. The sun's coming up behind it, and you can see like a well.
Definitely a well. Some cattle.
And we're all just now we're haggard.
Of course, we've been laying in a ditch.
And then we could just have 2-10 to 8-4.
There you go.
It's us sprinting towards the well.
Let's make it clear. It's not a great luxurious farmhouse. It's just a farmhouse.
Yeah, it's
but
sheltered.
when you come out of a ditch, it's very appealing. Right. Kind of like 8-4 versus 2-10. That's the analogy. When you get out of 2-10 and you go to 8-4, no, it's not where you want to spend the rest of your life.
It's not a 4-3 in a nice neighborhood, but it is shelter.
And you don't want to spend the rest of your life there. But it'll do in a storm. And when you come out of 2-10, any prairie house is a storm. Do they call them prairie houses?
I don't think so.
They're farmhouses.
We can. Today
there was a little house on the prairie.
There was.
I'm just saying. Stephanie's favorite show from when she was a little girl.
Dave
to show how old my wife is.
Well, listen, we're all old enough. I don't know about you because it falls right in our wheelhouse. Ryan Sandberg.
It's right there. He was my favorite player other than Dale Murphy.
That sucks, man. I was talking about that in the bonus hour. It's like, man, the super stations were WGN, WOR, and then obviously TBS.
Yeah.
And, the thing was the Cubs until 87 or was it 88 when they went to lights, they only played day games.
So you get home from school and they're always on.
And that's why there's so many damn Cub fans. Every time you came home. And that lineup, I was laying in bed when I saw the news this morning and just kind of thinking about that. It was like Jody Davis behind the plate, and I was thinking about Ryan Sandberg and how old Larry Boa and Ron Say were on those two teams.
Ron Say was there.
Ron Say was at third. Boa was at short. He was 37 years old.
Until they got Sean Dunston.
Yeah, Sean Dunston
who
came
threw
in.
92 to first every time.
Yes, he did. And I was thinking about that team. Keith Moreland, all those guys. Man,
the Hawk.
Well, and so you get Sutcliffe, and that year he ends up winning 16 games. Like that was to blow a 2-0 lead to the Padres, and everybody forgets Durham has the ball go between his legs 2 years before Buckner with the Red Sox.
Leon Bull Durham, folks. This is we're talking about 1984 playoff baseball.
Yes. Well,
we like to remind people how old we are.
But if you grew up at that time, as you're saying, I wonder what the other major league owners were thinking because
they were pissed.
Because and I don't remember that being discussed.
No,
I don't remember that. But just when you were growing up, it was like. I think the Braves were probably because they were on usually almost always 7:05 or 7:95, whatever. That was like number one option. But the Cubs, if you got home in the afternoon, the Cubs was number two option. And then if nobody else is on, all right, I'll watch the Mets. I'll watch Kiner's Corner.
Yeah, that's right.
So the thing of it for me, though, and because the Mets ended up winning the World Series in '86, and I knew that team because they spring trained in St. Pete and all that other stuff. But like those Cubs-Mets teams, I watched all the time. Then later the Braves too. I mean, we've talked about, Bob Horner, Chris Chambliss, all these guys, Al Hrabosky, but Dale Murphy obviously is the guy. Ryan Sandberg and Dale Murphy were like the two biggest stars in baseball for an entire generation of people roughly our age.
Yep, and only one's in the Hall of Fame.
Because you saw them every night or every day in the case of the Cubs. And there was nothing better because baseball was still the sport in this country. It was the number one sport. And for me as a Pirates fan, knowing that I get to see the Pirates play the Mets, get the Pirates play the Cubs, see the Pirates play the Braves, that was the only way I could see them.
This back then, kids, if you didn't live in that city or that's the only way. You couldn't go see your favorite team play, and even then you had to go buy tickets. They weren't on TV typically. So consider yourselves lucky that you have an MLB package where you can live in like Tallahassee and watch every White Sox game if you want to. But I don't know anybody that would want to do that.
But you'd watch a little This Week in Baseball.
With Mel Allen, with Twin Notes.
That was the
and
best.
Johnny Bench's
Baseball Bunch.
Whatever the heck that stupid thing was.
Dave contributed to what we're doing here. I got to read his questions, plural. I was trying to figure out what the grill for the Alabama game would be, and it hit me, Register Sausage. Thanks for that, Dave.
Yeah,
Since
absolutely.
you guys clearly know your way around a sausage, I ask you, bun or no bun, toppings, side dishes. Listen, Ira led the show off with the bun sausage. He was feeling it.
And Kim, she wasn't really feeling the bun, so she just chopped up the sausage.
Did you say don't forget the bun?
I'm not gonna say I
R.I.P.
scolded her or
I don't know if Sir Mix-a-Lot is dead. I don't know why I think he's dead.
He's alive.
He's alive. Okay, good.
But no, it was I was a little disappointed in that effort from her.
Oh,
and I let her know that.
But you weren't disappointed in the sausage.
No,
just
the sausage was
her
awesome.
effort,
I just didn't, but I guess you could say maybe in that to his point about toppings. You don't want to put too many times. If you really like the quality of meat you've got,
you don't need bread.
You don't need to put A1.
You don't need bread.
A good steak.
Just hold it and eat it.
But what I'm going to tell you is
I like
this.
on the bread.
Yeah. I don't like that motion, Corey. This is on video. But I would just say this. It's a tailgate that he's talking about.
Right.
You need the bread. You got to sop it up a little bit. People are
partying.
partying. You're going to walk
But
around.
yeah, you're also not going to
to
hold a huge sausage and just take a bite out of it. It's too hot, number one. It looks weird, as I just proved.
Yeah.
And then also you want the toppings on it. That's not a tail. Plus, what are you going to cut it with a knife? It's a tailgate, man. We're men. We got to put it. And women. We're adults. We eat with buns.
Side dish has got to go potato salad. I love potato salad. That's my favorite all time.
My side dish is another sausage.
Ira and I agree a lot about a lot of things.
You don't like potato salad?
It's the worst thing that's ever been invented.
So good.
Agreed.
It's awful.
Agreed.
Oh, it's so good.
I would pee in it. It's just it's a container for piss.
You did that at your old office job, right? And they caught you? You were peeing in the potato salad?
I did not pee in the potato salad. That was not.
You were in the coffee.
That's the same. Isn't it? Who peed in your potato salad?
Yeah.
I guess people love potatoes.
Line good, like really good. Will that cement our need for an ebony and ivory defensive line in the future, like Verse and Fist did in 23? Don't forget my register's question. I got to both already, Dave.
So he's saying
Ebony and Ivory
James
was
Williams.
a great song, by the way.
It was.
Yeah, but that tandem made a lot of bad songs on that record. Like the two
I didn't even know
times they
there
ever
were
got
more
together.
songs.
Yeah, it's awful.
But that's and then the SNL version with Piscatone.
With Piscatone.
That was even better.
That was before Ryan Sandberg. If we can date ourselves even more.
Anyway, I don't know that that's going to be a goal of putting together a team, but yeah, it'd be awesome. If
And I've
James
made
Williams
this statement for
back.
years, literally for like four or 5 years. Tight ends and defensive ends have been overrun by the white athlete. Like the best tight ends in the world are white, and same with defensive ends. Now, a lot of them are brothers, but all the best defensive ends are white. And all the best tight ends are white. I don't understand it.
What is happening?
Yeah, something's happening.
It's a sea change. It comes and goes.
It ebbs and flows.
It does. Sydney Sweetie fan
So
club
hopefully, the point being, James Williams
fits the role.
Fits the bill. Yeah.
If FSU goes 8-4, that means 0-4 against our peers. Clemson,
Not
UF,
necessarily.
Right.
Okay,
Clemson,
go ahead.
UF, Miami, Bama. Would we get rid of Mike? Is what he is.
No.
Is what City says.
But see,
well, they won't. But yes, the frustration would be real. Yeah.
Right. And this is, and to your point, yeah, it doesn't have to be this where you could win one or two of those and lose to somebody else. I don't know if that's any better. It might be worse. But again, I think
No, if you get a win over Florida, if you win one of those games, it's better than losing one of the. Like you'd rather lose at Virginia than lose at winning at Florida would trump losing at Virginia.
Except you'd be at 2-2 with your only wins.
I'm talking about end of year when you're looking back.
Use Pitt or somebody as a better example.
Okay, Virginia Tech at home. Yeah, sorry.
Or NC State.
Yeah, you lose at NC State. You'd rather lose at NC State than lose at Florida.
Yeah, no, I get it. That makes sense.
But yes, I don't think he's getting fired.
But it was to Ira's point. He won't, but the frustration will be palpable. It'll still be there. People will be like, great, you beat a bunch of teams that aren't any good. That's the thought. That's what the thought will be. But I'd say,
it's better than losing all the teams
but
that
they're
are
not in
good.
a ditch, guys. They're on the prairie.
Right.
Yeah.
Running towards a
they've made it.
dilapidated farmhouse.
They're not running anymore. They made it.
With a well.
They're
cleaning up.
Yeah.
26 is going to be big.
Yeah, 26, you're out. You've found
mowed
life
the
again.
lawn, you fixed some of the holes. Yeah, it'll be a thing. Headliner questions forthcoming. Hour number 2. Stay with.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs, from the fairway to the fire pit. We've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
Ain't nothing but a G-Pod, baby. I am 99% sure that is not how the lyrics go. Well, you like remixes, right? Of course. Well, think of this as a Grassroots Coffee remix per se, because Grassroots Coffee is now in the single-serve coffee pod game.
Dude, those single-serve coffee pods and cups are weak sauce.
Not Grassroots Coffee G-Pods. They have more coffee in them than regular single-serve pods and cups.
Seriously?
And not only do they have more coffee, they have a built-in filter for better brewing. They fit in most Keurig machines, and they are fully compostable.
It's still the small batch, slow roasted coffee you love, so go to grassrootscoffee.com and get your box of G-Pods today.
Baby!
See? Remix!
Well, actually, that's more of an homage.
Grassroots Coffee, locally owned, locally roasted, and made for everyone, loved everywhere.
Grassroots Coffee G-Pods. So very good. My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Many orthodontists in Tallahassee can straighten a smile, but at Birch Orthodontics, they're dedicated to providing the finest care possible. The experienced and friendly staff is trained in all of the latest techniques. So whether you need standard treatment like braces or Invisalign, or you have a more complicated case requiring extra attention, Birch Orthodontics is here for you. Set up your free consultation today by visiting birchorthodontics.com, BURCH orthodontics.com, or call 850-877-1692. At Birch Orthodontics, they create beautiful smiles that last a lifetime.
If it's happening in the capital city, you'll hear it first on Real Talk 93.3 WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
Matt Fitzpatrick is a 20-1 favorite to win the Wyndham Championship at the Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro. Ben Griffin, Keegan Bradley, Aaron Rye, all 25-1. Robert McIntyre, Jordan Spieth at Ekimatsuyama 30-1. Danny Hamlin and Kyle Larson, the plus 450 co-favorites when the Iowa Corn 350 Cup race at the Iowa Speedway this week. Braves ended a 5-game losing streak yesterday with a 10-7 win over the Royals. They're plus 104 today at Kauffman Stadium, where the total is 9.5 under. Rays at $1.68 dog against Max Fried of the Yankees, minus 208, 8.5 under at Yankee Stadium. Score $500 in rewards at the G-Bank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
we can be twinsies
to
how was shopping? I saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not
37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
I have a large family on a tight budget, and we're always looking for ways to save money. Thanks to a free energy audit by the City of Tallahassee Utilities, we found ways to reduce our water and electric usage at home. It was easy to schedule the appointment, and the energy auditor was very knowledgeable. If you want to see savings on your City of Tallahassee Utilities bill, start with a free energy audit. Call 850-891-4968 or visiting talgov.com/YOU to schedule your appointment.
Did you know backup generators often lack the power needed to start an AC unit? Installing an Easy Flex soft starter from E&B Heating and Air can reduce startup current by 75%, allowing your AC to run without a larger, more expensive generator. Visit embheatingandair.com for more info.
Let's be honest, we all have way too much stuff. Maybe your storage closet is full, your garage is full, or the guest bedroom is a mess. Call Southeast Portable Buildings, 580-6400, or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
The holidays are coming. Well, in a few months, and that's why now is the time to shower up with a beautiful custom bath or shower enclosure from Widden Glass. Don't wait for the holiday rush. Widden Glass will take care of you this summer to your complete satisfaction. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with real glass people, experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Widden's top-of-the-line bath and shower enclosures provide style and luxury at an affordable price. With the holidays coming, that means family, and that means now is the time to shower up with style.
Call today, Widden Glass, the real glass people, 222-5781, or online at widdenglass.com, WHIDDON. Widden, Tallahassee's first family in glass since 1945. 222-5781. 222-5781 or online at widdenglass.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Final hour, Jeff Cameron. No, that is not it. It is running. Let me see if you guys are here.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Should be good. Because we got reversed, somehow headlines is not in. It was in for the reverse. Right. But so I'm hoping that we're good to go. I will find out here in just a second. I know we are for the YouTube audience. We see if we get the radio audience right. Checking it back at the at home there, Tom. Make sure you flip that. Seminole headlines, hour number 2, headliner questions. Here we
somebody
go.
just asked if in the chat if we're going to get an hour number 2 from Corey if they beat Alabama.
No.
What?
No
it's a
chance.
Big win. Double-digit home dogs.
But I did tell Gene this, that if they qualify somehow for the Rose Bowl this year, I will fly to it.
That is a big step.
You flew when we did last time.
I know.
Yeah.
But I don't fly much. And I was like, because we were talking about the Stanford trip, and I'm like, yeah, he's like, you probably aren't upset if you're not going to that. I'm like, not at all. It's like, but I'll get on a plane if they go to the Rose Bowl.
I'll go to the Stanford trip.
You know who else would go?
Yeah, you.
Dr. Birch would go, I'm sure.
Dr.
Birch is given the opportunity.
Yeah.
She would not miss it. BirchOrthodontics.com is the website. Dr. Birch has done tremendous work in the capital city, we like to call it, of Tallahassee.
Everybody call it. That's what around the world they know Tallahassee is the capital city.
For over 20 years, just fixing smiles, making people happy. I mean, let's think of the joy, Dr. Birch. Dr. Birch, I would say she should do it for free, and she probably would do it for free, but then she wouldn't be able to compensate us for our,
right.
The work
I don't know that she would do it for free either.
She might do it for free because, listen, think of the work. I mean, I think if Dr. Birch walks into a store or walks down the street, goes to Cascades Park, she's running into somebody that has a smile.
Messed up teeth. Okay. Somebody that she worked on that changed their lives. Yeah, I got you. I see what you're saying.
I mean, think about it. Over 20 years.
I still think she wants to get paid for it.
Well, that's just,
I would think.
I mean, that's just to pay her bills.
Right.
But
well, yeah.
and to give it back. because she does so many things for the community. So
she does, and she's the best at what she does, and her staff is awesome, and it's why we send our kids there, and it's why our kids have great smiles.
Correct. And you can too if you go to birchorthodox.com, BURCH orthodox.com is the website, free consultation. They take difficult cases, all the latest technology, and they have payment plans. They make it as affordable as possible. And tell them you heard about them on the headlines.
I think people do excessively. She probably thinks, what a deal I have. What a good deal I have. I mean, we should maybe renegotiate.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you just meant her life. Like she has a good life.
She's got a great life. She's made good choices.
Yeah. The joy she gets from helping people.
Otherwise. Ira, we've got a problem, buddy.
What's that?
With all of our new computers.
You can't pull up the questions?
I can pull them up on my Twitter feed, but the Facebook is going to have to be one of you guys. I think go to the headlines feed. And it's Corey.
Sweet.
Corey, go find the headlines.
I can't wait for this. I'm awesome.
Go find the Facebook questions and you ask them.
I mean, I don't know. Do the computers not have Facebook? Go to Twitter. You go to Twitter.
I'm going to Twitter right now, and it's just going to take a second. Give me a moment here
to let people behind the scenes.
It's a little bit of a cluster today.
Yeah, you had a little bit hiccup. We had a little hiccup coming out of the break.
We started an hour late, so we had to flip the.
So everything
Jeff
got
Cameron
flipped
show
around, but in addition, it's this exact same day. That's a new computer to your right, Ira. This is a new computer in here. Any of the passwords that have been saved for years, gone. It's like, I don't know who you are. You could be a criminal trying to log in here, buddy. We're not doing this. So it's made it difficult.
These all sound like excuses, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they 100% are.
I mean,
those are realities of our situation. They're not excuses.
You got to control what you can control.
Well, I want you to control talking about Marcus Ponder, Marcise Ponder saying yes to Florida State.
I do want to talk about that. So Florida State landed a 7-foot center.
But let people know you're talking about basketball.
Hey, but there's a reason.
I know.
That's a big. This is a big
but
to-do.
it is basketball.
Marcus Ponder. He was playing. He's originally from Miami. Was playing at an academy, a prep school in Orlando. Now is at a school up in the DC area. His head coach is brothers with an FSU assistant coach, Coach Gillian. And so that helped certainly in the recruitment. But Luke and his staff are really doing a good job in recruiting right now. And this kid is go pull up his highlights. Go to YouTube.
So like legit badass, top 100 player?
I'm just saying, listen, when the first time I watched his clips, when I heard they were recruiting him, I looked it up and I was like, I covered Shaq at LSU when he was at LSU. I swear to God, it's what it looks like. And then I Googled him, and everybody's just like, "Oh yeah, he's Shaq Jr." Like that's
what
he's unbelievable.
Florida State just got a yes from Shaq Jr.
This kid, watch his highlights and tell me if you don't see an LSU version of Shaq.
Corey, you're a basketball-loving fool.
Yeah.
But my favorite part about that commitment, so he committed.
I'm scared he's more Stanley Roberts. Good reference for you guys.
Yeah. What the cool thing about it, so Matt Lasser, our guy Matt, reported yesterday that Ponder was scheduled as official visit or visiting for the Alabama game. So we wrote that yesterday. And then today, just as we're starting the interviews, I'm just getting ready to interview Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
It breaks that Luke got a commitment from this Ponder kid. And I'm like, all right, Luke, upstaging Mike Norvell at his luncheon. I like it.
I texted Luke, and because
you're not allowed to talk about recruits. He's not allowed to talk about
No, he couldn't talk about it. Right. I just texted, and he couldn't respond except with just a smiley face.
All right.
Just a smiley face, just a sort of, hey, good to hear from you, Jeff.
They're doing pretty well, but this kid's big time, man. If they can, and basketball commitments are different than football. Usually basketball commitments stick.
Right.
It's not as volatile in football. For whatever reason, basketball commitments usually stick. Not always, but for the vast majority, man,
it's exciting.
That could be a big signing.
Well, and they needed a center. Like, that's a big
deal. He won't be here this season.
Yeah, but, in the relative future, we're going to have a center.
If he can't shoot threes, I don't care. Get to a question, Jeff.
Burke writes, in addition to all the other reasons last year was derailed, we only recovered 2 fumbles, made 4 interceptions, going minus 16 in the turnover battle. Do you think Tony White's defense will create more turnovers? Yes.
That's the hope.
The volatility is
6
kind
turnovers?
of what they
6 turnovers? And how many were against Charleston Southern? I'm guessing 2.
I mean, it was an abomination.
It was incredible.
I remember having a conversation on the practice fields after a practice one day. It was the collected media. It wasn't just me. And I asked Mike Norvell, he was talking about doing drills and trying to create more turnovers. And there's debate in the football community as to whether or not you can do that. And I asked him, well, how specifically will you create more turnovers? He didn't give a great answer, but the answer had to do more to do with swarming to the football, reaching for it, and those kinds of things.
And clearly they did that most of last season.
Obviously, they drowned him out. It didn't work out because I've never seen a team
Swarm less.
Not only swarm less, I'm talking about just like dumb luck. You would accidentally create more turnovers than they did this last year. It's almost impossible not to.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do think where I agree with him. I do think, and fumble luck, you can argue whether or not how much that is legit, and there are outliers. But in general, if you hit guys with more physicality, if you swarm to the ball and have guys punching at the ball, you're going to have more turnovers. If you break on the ball as a defensive back, I think that's one place where there's going to be a lot more. You'd like to think because the DBs will be facing they'll play more zone. They'll be trying to confuse offenses. That was not a staple of what Adam Fuller did. I mean, that was not the approach. They played mostly man.
They were not very confusing.
The corners, they were not very good at confusing quarterbacks. Plus, they really weren't in positions to pick off a lot of passes unless you were just a great talented player or a terrible pass. This is going to be different. This is going to be more zone, more opportunities for that. Now, that's not a perfect defense. There's going to be ways to exploit that. But
I think it's combustible, but
in terms of creating turnovers, there's no question. That's kind of that's the goal.
Just get to double digits. One a game, Ira. It is crazy to be minus 16 in a turnover. I mean, that has to be who was worse? Kent State? Like, that's one of the worst numbers in the country.
It gets lost in the shuffle with all the other suck.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other sucks to document. You just forget about that suck.
Yeah, and it's a big one. It's the defense that just doesn't create anything.
Ever. Dan writes, it's hot out. Have you ever experienced Phoenix 120-degree, quote-unquote, dry heat in July? I did earlier this month. Have to give a slight edge to Florida humidity being more bearable, believe it or not. Go Noles. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't agree with it. I've been in that Phoenix heat. I've experienced that heat.
Neither one should you be out in, though.
You're not excited about either, but the humidity of Florida is godforsaken torture.
Yeah, but this last week, 4 days, whatever it's been here, is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It feels like, I think my phone said it feels like 161 on my outside.
161.
But I've been in Vegas. Yeah. We were walking to the World Series of Poker at another casino, and it looked really close. But those casinos are very big.
How
I was like, it's right down. The Caesars is
right next door.
Huge.
I'm not going to wait an hour for a cab. This was kind of before Uber was a thing. We can walk it, guys. It's fine. It's not that far. And I had a bigger friend with me at the time, and he was not happy halfway through. And it is incredible hot. Vegas in July is an oven.
It's like, and I've been to Vegas, same thing in August. And the heat, you can feel the heat. That's different.
Yeah, you feel it on you.
Skin.
Yeah.
But man, I'd prefer to be able to breathe. The humidity, man, is
the humidity here is out of control. And it's 9 o'clock at night. I went on a walk last night at sunset, and I was drenched when I came back. Drenched. And it was just a walk. I wasn't running.
You going to do it again tonight?
No.
No.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah. Trailer Swift has weighed in. Gents, we're almost there. We don't have any games to talk about just yet. So I guess my question is, when Eastbound and Down starts playing, who will you have your arms around celebrating the Tide not being able to stop Tommy C through 3 quarters?
Yeah. It'll be 33-10, and Florida State's driving in for the kill.
He's rushed for a cool $127.
2 touchdowns. He's also thrown for a couple.
9 carries.
Yeah, 9 for 122.
I mean, it's just really big plays on the ground from Tommy C. I will have my arms around my father in that moment because I'll be sitting with him. And
I won't have my arms around a dad.
No, you could come down and have your arms around my father.
Yeah, any dad. Well, I could put my arms around Ira. He's a dad.
If they win, maybe we'll come down and get hugs from your dad.
We have the great picture of you two hugging my father at the CP. Famously, it's a great picture. My dad loves it. I have it. I have it up in the house of you two hugging my father. How cool is that?
That is very nice, Jeff.
By the way, we have a new Jerry on the football team. I think.
Is he black?
Jeremiah Wilson.
They call him Jerry. But it's Jeremiah.
Well, most Jeremiahs or most Jerrys aren't just Jerry. They have a Oh, really?
Most of them are just straight up Jerry.
Oh, I would have thought they're all Gerald or Jeremiah.
We're counting Jeremiah.
Yeah.
That is cool to have a Jerry on the team. Yeah.
I did get caught off guard. I was talking to Richie Leonard, and I was asking him questions about the defense, and we were going back and forth about a lot of things. And I said, talk to the people back in Tallahassee about a guy that wasn't on the team a year ago that you're really excited to see playing a game this year. And he was like, well, Jerry. And I was like, who is Jerry? And you know how your brain, like he said that to me, and I'm like, and he's still talking. And in my head, I'm like, keep talking. I don't know who the hell Jerry is. I'm going through the Rolodex in my mind. I'm like, you got me. I don't know who Jerry is. Who the hell's Jerry? How did I miss this in recruiting?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Jeremiah. Malzahn average, this is from Jason. Malzahn averaged 68 offensive snaps per game over the past 2 seasons. Norvell averaged 63 offensive snaps per game in that same time. Over under FSU averages 71.5 per game this year. That's a good question.
It is. You would hope they'd go faster. I don't know why. I thought Malzahn would be a little faster pace than that. Only 5 extra plays. I thought he'd be in. I mean, nobody goes in the 80s and 90s anymore because of the new clock rules. But you'd like 1 extra possession. So I would say, I don't know though. 71's a lot.
Well, I think one thing I think that could push a little bit higher is I do think because of the style of defense, I do think they're going to be forcing the issue.
Yeah.
And so
either quick drives or quick 3-and-outs or turnovers. Yeah. It won't be the methodical 11-play, 80-yard drives we were used to last year from that defense.
We'll make for some long games, I fear. I think we're going to have.
What do you got to do?
I'm all for it.
Yeah, what else you got to do?
Give me the long football games.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
I like the other games too.
Yeah.
I like to see some of the other
we usually
games
can't go watch the other
I
games.
like the other games too. Jerry writes, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is a
Another
two-part
I wonder if
question."
that's Jeremiah Wilson.
This guy looks white.
Oh, okay.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is a 2-part question. Which away game are you most excited to attend? 1, for the matchup on the field, and 2, for the actual city atmosphere. You can pick 2 games, or 1 if it's both parts. Thanks, and go Noles, and yay sausage.
Got to be Gainesville, right? Everybody loves going to Gainesville.
Yeah, especially that time of year.
Hogtown on a Saturday night.
Right after Thanksgiving. You're feeling thankful that you don't live there.
Yeah.
Clemson's always a fun trip. I mean, just because it's a cool place to play.
Good atmosphere, that's for sure.
Usually pretty good games.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say.
I'm less excited about the Clemson game this year.
I'll be honest. I think it's Charlottesville. I've only been to Charlottesville once for a football game, and it was.
Town.
I don't think I've covered them. Yeah, I've never been there since Florida State. Since I've been doing this as a job, I went in 1992.
Did you go? So
with Charlie Ward?
You didn't go to the last one when we lost with Willie? I was at that game. I was sitting on the 50.
No, I did not.
That was a painful one.
No, I haven't been to Charlottesville since. Well, I've been there, but long story. It's for basketball, but I've never been there. I haven't been there for a football game in 33 years. So I'm looking forward to that one. And it's a cool town. My wife will be with me. I don't know if you guys know this, but obviously everybody knows this. It's where the Dave Matthews Band was formed in Charlottesville, Virginia. Clearly, that's like saying that Elvis is from Mississippi. We get it. The Beatles are from Liverpool. Dave Matthews is from Charlottesville. So she's very excited to see all the bars and haunts he played at when he was coming up. So there you go.
I was recently in Charlottesville, and I have good reason to be. I've had family members there, and I've had my nephew graduated from UVA Law, and we used to go up there and hang out. I love that city. It's not a bad choice. It's a little sleepy.
It is a little sleepy.
It's a little sleepy. It's not a big.
Occasionally there'll be guys with torches, but that happens. That only happens like once a decade or so. But other than that, it's sleepy town.
Michael says, "Yay, Dr. Birch, boys! Am I the only one patiently waiting for Tommy C to air it out on the first play from scrimmage against Bama, just to hear Joe Tessitore say that's a drive into deep left by Castellanos?"
Yeah. Well, it won't be Tessitore. It'll be
hashtag man of faith.
Oh, Tessitore probably will be doing that game.
Yeah.
Is he still doing college football?
You know what he'll do if he is? He'll say, it doesn't matter if Alabama loses today.
Yep.
They're in. They're in, guys.
They're in.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to unbuckle and talk about the SEC and Alabama right here, guys. It does not matter.
I'm really happy. One of the best things about the job is that I did not have to listen to him call that ACC championship.
Have you ever gone back?
No, because it would be maddening. It would be maddening. He was talking about it for some reason. Like the fact that Florida State was beating a decent team, a good team, a 10-win team, with an incredible defensive effort, with their third-string quarterback playing, winning a championship, the first one they'd won in 9 years. And all he's talking about is, do they belong, America? America, what do you think?
They don't. I mean,
it's ridiculous that was a talking point instead of just celebrating the game. Just me saying that.
Well, yeah,
hey, I got the Facebook questions.
There was an agenda.
We'll do it on the next segment.
We can do one right now. Give us a little taste of that Facebook.
All right, I'm going to go with the first one because I agree with this. Is anyone else annoyed with the Savannah Bananas popularity?
Of course.
Is it good for baseball or no?
It's probably not bad
random
for
question
baseball.
for Seminole headlines.
Probably not bad for baseball, but I'm annoyed by it. That's why I recently retweeted the whole guy falling on his face on Good Morning America. It was awesome. One of the dudes did a backflip. They're like, "We welcome in the Savannah Bananas." He did a backflip. Bam! Broke his face.
Oh, on Good Morning America he did?
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
I celebrated it.
You're just a hater.
I hate him. I think it's the stupidest thing on earth.
It's crazy.
I hate it.
Apparently, they'll sell out.
Yeah.
Like they sell out the.
They sold out the
Camden
Death Valley.
Yards.
They played at Clemson and they played Death
Well,
Valley.
that makes a lot of sense in that area.
Yeah.
But it's also like the Orioles can't sell out Camden Yards.
Yeah, but if they played
Savannah
one game a
Bananas
year,
can.
they could.
That's fair. I'll say
that's true.
I'll tell you what's interesting about them is I do feel like the women love. Kim's a huge fan of the Savannah Bananas. There should be a.
Can she name any of them?
Let me ask you this though: instead of just hating on them, there should be a women's version.
A softball
like
equivalent.
Jesse Warren doing tricks and stuff. I bet you they.
Yeah, sure. I guess. The thing that so they sold out Truist Park too, and the Truist Park's a major league stadium. You know, they've won some games in that park.
Tragic.
And the Savannah Bananas were there, and I had friends that went, and they said it was like being at one of the Atlanta Braves playoff games, just the madness and the battery and everything around it. And I'm like, that sounds horrible. Like, I will deal with some madness if I get to see Ronald Acuna hit.
And because it counts.
The games matter.
It matters.
To see you play the party animals and there's somebody on stilts.
It's the Harlem Globetrotters against the
Well, that's what
Generals.
bothered me when the Florida State game was had to be moved to ESPN News when they were playing Oregon State because the Savannah Bananas game ran late. I know we're old people yelling at clouds, but it's just I guess I don't understand the popularity, but I don't think it's bad for baseball.
No, it's not bad for baseball. It's fine.
Our chat's incredible right now. You
just people arguing about Savannah Bananas?
Just all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh,
I see you, Jamie Johnson.
Sweet.
Yeah, some interesting stuff going on in the chat. Anyway.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Make this summer a Swain summer. Choose Swain Pools and Spas for all your regular monthly or weekly scheduled pool maintenance, repairs, restoration, and renovation. Swain Pools and Spas is Tallahassee's pool everything store. Whether it's a deep clean, a resurfacing, or a full refresh, Swain's team will have you swimming, not skimming, in no time. Make a splash this summer and have a Swain summer. Find out all the ways Swain Pools and Spas can upgrade and maintain your backyard. Online at SwainPools.com. That's SwainPools.com.
Swain Pools and Spas, you'll be soaking up the fun when you want to. Swain Pools and Spas.
And right next to Swain Pools and Spas is Tallahassee Car Care, the only repair shop where you can take a dip while we repair your whip. Tallahassee Car Care, right next to Swain Pools and Spas.
Hi, Chris Kraft. The 4th was just the beginning of July fireworks at Kraft Nissan. Don't worry about interest rates. We've got 0% financing for 60 months on our complete lineup of midsize SUVs. That's right. Nissan Rogue, Murano, and Pathfinder are all available in July with 0% for 60 months. Nissan engineers raised the bar. They ran the Rogue through rigorous trials like extreme sandstorm, immense water pressure, and monstrous potholes. Rogue passed with flying colors. So whether you're chasing adventure or just tackling the everyday, we're here. And with MSRPs lower than last year's and 0% APR, Pathfinder and Rogue are absolutely the best SUV value in America. Get $7,500 cash back or 0% for 72 months on Nissan Leaf, America's lowest price EV. And get 0% or $10,000 cash back on Aria, our fast-selling electric SUV. With 0% financing, cash back offers, and prices lower than last year, July is the month for hot deals at Kraft Nissan. Remember, if your car doesn't have the Kraft tag on it, you paid too much, way too much.
This week's Legacy Moment, brought to you by Cornerstone Memorials, honors Sarah and Henry Reed, who over 3 decades opened their home to more than 40 foster children. The Reeds weren't wealthy, but they gave every child love, safety, and a place to belong. Holidays at their house meant mismatched chairs and full hearts. When they passed, Sarah in 2017, Henry just last year, dozens of grown children came home one more time. The Reeds left behind a family they built with kindness. This has been a Legacy Moment, honoring the lives that shaped Tallahassee. Sponsored by Cornerstone Memorials, helping families honor their loved ones with dignity and care. Find out more online at cornerstonememorials.org. Do you know of a Tallahassee legacy that should be shared? Text the word legacy to 850-386-8255 to submit your story for the Cornerstone Memorials Legacy Moment.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
No Sounders, boys. We're coming back with no Sounders. This is how it works.
This is
you don't need a sounder.
All right, this question is from James. Happy fall camp week, guys.
Thank you, James.
Before I get to my question, I want to remind everyone that this week marks two significant milestones. The Florida Gators SEC championship drought is now old enough that it could obtain a driver's license in the state.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the Miami Hurricanes ACC championship drought has lasted long enough that it could buy Seminole headlines at Tavella. The question is, which of the big three has a better chance of winning a conference title this year?
Miami.
Who has a better one, Florida State or Florida?
Not Florida State.
I would say Florida State. It's easier schedule.
It's close.
I mean, to be one of the top two teams in the SEC, and with Florida's schedule, they have to go. They have to win 6 of those games.
It's brutal. Yeah,
Florida State could win 6 of their games and get to Charlotte, and then it just takes
a lucky night.
A good night.
Yeah. I think Miami has the best chance of all three teams, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Unfortunately, I hate Miami, but that's all the more tough to admit that they have the best shot.
And this question from Lawrence I thought was interesting.
He's getting into it.
Good afternoon, sports fans. How often do you think Coach Norvell listens to any of your shows, if at all? And how often have you been confronted by something you've said about a player or subject? Have a great day, boys. The light at the end of the tunnel is college football season.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Norvell, what do you think about Norvell?
I think in passing he gets snippets of maybe something we've said or it gets back to him in some capacity.
Who do you think within the administration told Norvell those three are the kingmakers? You need them on your side, or it's going to get bad.
Probably happened early.
That's what I'm saying. It happened in 2019. I just wonder who told them.
During the interview process.
Probably.
Just understand this. If you take this job,
here are the three.
These three guys.
Yeah.
You know what the question was? I mean, what the conversation was like? It's like from The Departed. They're not guys you can't hit.
Yeah, but they're not quite guys
but they're not
you can't hit either.
You can hit.
Yeah, you need to know. You don't piss them off.
I think it kind of went that way.
Usually the case, the way this works is usually people around a coach will tell them, hey, these people said this. Did you hear this?
This is what's happening. Yeah.
And the problem is if the people surrounding that coach, which happened with Jimbo Fisher, a lot of times their interpretation of what we were saying would get exaggerated.
Well, it's a game of telephone.
And it would just be like, oh, they said this, they said this, they said this. And then Jimbo would have other people come to us and say, you guys said this. And no, we didn't say that. So-and-so said that. And it's just, we said this. And so you get some of that. We haven't really had that with Norvell. I don't think
he's been good about it.
I don't think he cares.
But I don't remember having it with either baseball, basketball. I can't remember any run-ins I had with people after.
Jimbo and I got into.
It's always Jimbo. Jimbo's the only one.
Jimbo was the only one. Jimbo and I got into because he was misquoting me. He was to your point. Somebody told him I said something completely bastardized what I said. And he was furious and was yelling at me. And I was listening. I was trying to figure out what he was referring to. It was so bastardized, I didn't even know what he was referring to. Finally, he said something that had some semblance of what I said. And I said, oh, wait. I think I know what you're talking about now. And he's prattling on. And back then, we used to use DAT tapes to record the show, those little DAT tapes. And I was like, I got the DAT tape right here. Do you want me to drive over? Because I was pissed at that point. I was like, I'll drive over. We'll listen to it together. You can listen.
Did you say DAT tape?
Yeah.
Does he? I don't know what a DAT tape is.
He knows I had the recording. I got the DAT tape right here. I'll drive over right now. We'll
He's
listen
from
to
West
it
Virginia.
together.
He thought he said that tape.
That tape, yeah. Who dat?
And,
got the tape?
And he's like, no, just go on with the interview. I was like, okay.
I've had a little bit more. I'm sure Corey has too with stuff we've written because that's easier to pass along. Like that's somebody said, or email or something. Hey, did you see this?
But even CY misquoted something I wrote because I wrote that Terrence Mann wasn't going to be a first round pick. Unlike Bacon and Beasley, who came in with him that were big time recruits, but he might end up having the best career, even though he won't be a first round pick. And CY showed it to, or he told Terrence Mann, the guy from Warchant doesn't even think you're an NBA player. And I'm like, I didn't say that. I said he wasn't going to be a first round pick, and I was right. But he's had a really good career. But even that got anything for motivation.
CY told me that several times. I never corrected him.
I know he didn't. And I even told CY, but I think it's just buried in that brain now that Corey said Terrence Mann couldn't play.
I will tell you this, and it's not specific to that question necessarily, but I do think it's something to point out. I think any coach that obsesses with anything the local media says, unless you're printing outright lies and attacking character, you need to let the opinion stuff go, man. That should be beneath you. You don't have enough time with all that you're asked to do. Do you think NFL coaches worry a second about what some New York columnist is writing about the team? Do you think Nick Saban cares at all what any of those guys said at Alabama? I mean, you ought not. Unless, again, you're besmirching a guy and just making up lies saying that he's, a womanizer or whatever. Like if you're saying something like that, then fine. But other than that, you want people talking about your program. You want people to be interested in covering and talking about your program.
Especially these three people.
They may say things that you disagree with, but it would behoove you to have chatter about your program and not have it be dormant. Yay Sausage writes, more important to our success. O-line doesn't suck ass. I'm going to stop you there. That's the answer. Second part, that we can run the ball when needed. Well, that's
kind of one and the same.
They're
go together, hand in hand.
Dudes not named Jackson step up on that defensive line, and we can stop the run when needed, which is more important. Well, I think they're of equal importance, but I still think run the ball. Yeah,
Offense trumps defense for me this season because the offense was such a disaster,
worst in the country.
Yeah, so it really was worst in program history. So I'm much more, not much more, but I'm much more I more value the offensive line being decent than the defensive line being decent, even though they both need to be decent for you to have a good season.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be most people's opinions because of what we just watched on the offensive line. I would say, though, I feel confident that with a quarterback like Tommy Castellanos and Gus Malzahn running the show,
they're going to run.
They'll be able to run the football, even if the offensive line's not great. So I think that's going to be okay. If the defensive line is good, I think that's a huge deal for this team.
By the way, Yay Sausage had a bonus, and he even wrote bonus Irish FL twofer.
Ooh, twofer.
Yeah.
So his name is Yay Sausage?
Well, it's TK FSU, but he wrote Yay Sausage.
Oh,
That's his other name there.
You're just referring him to.
He refers to himself
on Twitter.
as
You have your Twitter handle, but then you can call yourself whatever you want.
This intrigued you.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. How excited are you to not mumble under your breath? Great, another third and full are coming up. Corey would do it every third down.
I would text
Got
you.
to the point where Ira was like, Jesus, man.
Well, no, and then they
Enough
just stopped.
with that.
They stopped forcing third downs. So you didn't have to. There were a lot of third and fullers last year. It was a lot of second and first and fullers.
I wanted him to give up the first down on second down so I didn't have to mumble, here comes the third and full.
Yeah, the opposing team would be just 2 of 4 on third downs because they only had 4 third down opportunities.
Choco McNasty says, gentlemen and Corey, apparently all practices are closed. If this is true, can you please just start making things up? Tell me we have an elite offensive line, linebackers that can cover. As always, I love you guys. Thank you, Choco McNasty.
Well, we kind of did that last year.
We could just make stuff up.
We did that last year. We got to watch every practice.
Well, we didn't make it up.
I know. They did make plays in practice.
R.A. Noel writes, gentlemen, how many times was ironclad used in Charlotte? With the new landscape of college football, can a bowl game pay the players to play in the game and give the winning team a higher share for winning it? That's cool to encourage participation.
I'm all about that. I think they should do that. I
would love that.
Especially if you're a 6th round pick. Man, get over yourself. Take your $30,000 check and go play in the game. But you've got to be. Is there a minimum?
$30,000 to play in an exhibition bowl game. I think most people would.
Yeah, I don't know that there's going to be that much money available.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, because I think ESPN. I mean, those games they don't sell tickets. It's just most of those games are just for TV.
That's correct.
So yeah, I don't know. The other thing I was going to say about what was the question before that though?
Can we make things up? What's more important, offensive line, defensive line?
No, I think it was the making things up. Yeah, I think the problem is it's. I don't know what do we do when we come on the air the week after, like the week after the Alabama game.
Well, we'll have a game to talk about. That'll be good.
Oh, and just not address all the things we said during the.
Oh no, we can. Yeah. Well, I mean,
sorry guys, they look great in practice. They looked a lot better than that.
Well, we could say they looked horrible. We could every day come in and say they look awful, guys. It's going to be a long year, and then they beat Bama. We're like, how about that? Well, aren't you pleasantly surprised? How many times was ironclad used in Charlotte? It was not.
I was going to tell you, though, I did have a couple interactions with Jim Phillips. I don't know if you did this time.
I didn't know.
Sandwich.
Did you go ironclad, Jim?
Yeah. What did you? Was he nice to you?
He was super nice. He's always super nice.
He's always super nice.
And
He's
nothing
came over
and,
not timid and meekish.
He actually gave me some news. I can't share it right now. It's not even, it was something that was reported nationally at the time. And I asked him about it. And he was like, well, that's actually not true. And I was like, he goes, just between me and you. I was like, all right, just between me and you, Jim.
Well, you should have said any more nuggets, Jim. I mean, let's sit down and have lunch.
He was on his way to something else.
We got a sandwich right here for you,
I have
Jim.
a question from Kristen. It's kind of a downer question, I think, but I feel like we've been too upbeat. So let's bring it down a little bit.
Okay, let's bring it down.
Afternoon, guys. 32 days till FSU football. If each of you had to pick one player that had a season-ending injury against Alabama that caused you to lose all hope in the season,
oh my gosh,
who would the player be?
And
you can't say Tommy Castellanos
because he wants to see the importance of a player in our eyes.
Well, it's a she, I believe.
Or
but
she.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, Kristen, I would say most Kristens are female. Not all of them.
I feel like we're putting this into the atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't want to even. Maybe we shouldn't even put that in the ether.
How about we phrase it differently? If Florida State had a player ruled ineligible, it's less because that's not the mojo.
What about just a position that takes a big hit? Maybe not one player. I would say I'm worried about D-line, guys. I would say a couple of your starters on D-line if they get hurt. I'm not gonna say specific names. I worry about how that would look.
I think we
with
know
the
who's going to be starting on the defensive line.
Hey, I'm not saying any names. We don't. It's all a competition.
Yeah, I would be most bummed if Deuce, just because I think that's going to be fun to watch. I really think that's going to be a huge part of their offense, and I also think he's going to be. We just haven't seen a lot of plays out of that position in at least a good couple of years. So I'm looking forward to that. I would be bummed by that.
Yeah, they're a thin team in my estimation. So I think any segment group, if you were to lose a couple starters, you're in trouble. Next question: did any of you guys get a free sandwich at media days? We all did. They provided free food, free breakfast, free sandwiches.
Yeah, but Phillips gave me a sandwich.
He did.
And it wasn't a sandwich. That was last year, and it wasn't a sandwich they were offering. It was off the menu. It was for the ACC commish. It was catered in from a local restaurant.
What if it had been a Monte Cristo? That would have been phenomenal.
It would have been awesome that he's a listener of the show. That he's a diehard listener of the show. He knows the deal.
You should have said that to him.
Also,
This is
I
not
did
a
look
Monte
it up.
Cristo.
I think Bennigan's might be making a comeback.
What?
There are Bennigans on the go, which I don't know what that means, but there are dozens of Bennigans across the country that aren't necessarily full-scale Bennigans, but they have the Monte Cristos.
People are longing for Bennigans.
I guess the Monte Cristo is a big hit, man.
If there was a Bennigan's in Tallahassee, they would need to serve Tavello.
Nicely done, Ira.
Yeah,
Well done. Ice cold Tavello out of Bennigan's might give
Bring
people
back
a
Bennigan's.
reason to go to Bennigan's.
There were a lot of good reasons to go to Bennigan's.
There weren't many.
Yeah, there were. More than
The floor was
flipping,
dirty.
Applebee's. No offense to all my Applebee's listeners out there.
On there, like
They all did that, Ira, but yeah, we had to wear a flare. We had to have
wear your
15
flare.
pieces of flare, whatever it was.
Wear your flare.
It was like we had to have double digits, so we had to have 10 pieces of flare.
Are you serious?
Oh, 100%. And I had to put them on my suspenders.
So when you saw that in Office Space, did you laugh your ass
yeah,
off?
because
You
that
knew,
was
'cause that
absolutely
you.
Bennigan's.
Yeah.
And what 16-year-old kid has pins to put
You
on?
had,
So
you
they
had
had
to purchase your own flare?
they had it in the you could borrow some, but all
I
the
was
good
gonna
ones were
say.
taken. So mine had to be like I love New York or some stupid, just because I needed a pin. Any pin that was there, I'd have to put on my suspenders.
Bring Black Sabbath or something.
I was going to say,
Well, yeah, but then I'm starting to buy them. I'm having to invest.
I
bought pins for my bands.
Did you really?
Mine would have been all bands. Yeah.
What do you mean you bought pins?
Posters and pins.
What would you do with a pin?
Oh, you
Put
wear it
them
on your jacket?
I usually put them on like things on my wall.
Yeah.
And stuff. Oh,
Also, I had
ton
a
of hoop
really
pins.
good denim jacket that
Complete
had
waste
pins,
of money.
all kinds
You
of
had a
pins.
denim jacket?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you weren't cool enough to be in a
All
Bennigan's.
Can we get a
kinds
picture of you and your flare?
I don't think I ever had a picture taken of me.
At Bennigan's?
Yeah. I kind of worked in the
You were
shadows.
ashamed?
I worked in the
Back there
shadows.
stuffing your face with other people's sandwiches?
Hey, but
in
I
the
was
dark?
ashamed of that. That's a dark moment in my life. But yes, to the
Hard
point,
times.
Tavello would make even Bennigan's
It would.
a great place to go hang out.
I never asked you, did you, as you wolfed down that other person's sandwich, were you in the bathroom, you said?
Well, I started in the kitchen until I was caught by my manager, and then I started doing it in the bathroom. I snuck him into the
It
bathroom.
didn't. You know how like drug addicts have told you when they knew they hit a
they're
low
rock bottom.
point, like they were doing crack behind the
Yeah.
bin, and they realized, here I am.
Are you stealing from your?
I'm doing
You're stealing
crack
from your
behind
family
a
members?
garbage
Your kids'
can
piggy
out
bank.
back. I've got to stop. Look at me. This is ridiculous. Did you have that moment?
It wasn't right.
I wasn't. With a half-eaten
Monte Cristo
sandwich.
Monte Cristos are great, by the way. Powdered sugar, fried.
Did you dump them in the jelly? Did you get?
No, I didn't do the jelly, but it wasn't. I wasn't that ashamed. But the one time that I did, I was eating by the urinal and the door opened, and I had to scurry into the toilet and shut the door.
Like a rat.
Yeah, that was when I was like, man, you
got a problem.
Hide these in your backpack and save them for when you're off work.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to eat them in the bathroom.
My dad's a lawyer. I could buy it in Monte Cristo.
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, yeah, I know. Well, man, they were right there, and I didn't want to wait on it. The only thing we got for free at Bennigan's were grilled cheeses. That's the only thing they make us for free.
Grilled cheese is delicious.
So's a Monte Cristo, buddy.
Especially when somebody else fondled it.
So is Tavello, the third try here.
I tried the second time.
He
Jeff went back.
to Bennigan's.
Maurice is happy with this one.
Bennigan's didn't cut a check for us.
No, but Tavello, let's go.
Let's go, Tavello.
Talk about it.
Up in Thomasville, Georgia, just north of Tallahassee, a stone's throw. If you had a really good arm.
Yeah, really good arm. Yeah.
You could get up to Thomasville. It's about a half-hour ride up the road. Go up there on a Friday. The first Fridays are always awesome. They have they basically shut down downtown. They have
That'd be this Friday. This Friday will be a first Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
Make it up there. If you haven't been there yet, go up there on the first Friday.
Get loose off of Tavello while you're up there.
But during the week, all the different variety beers you've never had before, because they're their proprietary beers. We love the coffee blonde. The lager is delicious. They also have the IPAs.
Yeah, they have them all.
The stouts. Go check them out. They've got something for you. And tell them you heard about them on the headlines, and talk to Maurice and Lynn and the whole crew. Great people. They're big
They are great
knolls.
people.
And do the right thing.
Well
Go to
done.
Tavello.
Well done, Ira.
Thanks.
So we didn't get a free sandwich. Well, we didn't get gifted one to answer this guy's question. And the second part of it was, how many serviceable offensive linemen do you think we realistically have? And we kind of started to answer this in the first hour. Sounds like Herb Hand thinks they have 7 to 8.
Well, they absolutely have 5?
They absolutely have 5.
Yeah, they've proven to be serviceable. I guess you could say the same thing about
serviceable. In some cases, they were.
But the problem is,
good.
Last year's offensive line had 5 serviceable guys, and it cratered.
Also,
I know, but you know what I'm saying? So I can understand people be like, yeah, man, but last year's line was full of multi-year starters too. Some that won an ACC
Well, they regressed, and many of them were, hurt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so that's why you wonder, but if healthy, man, these guys have proven they can play.
Well, they also, again, in hindsight, Jordan Travis had a lot to do with the success of that offensive line the year before. And even then, it was a 13-0 season, so it was hard to be too critical, but there were a lot of games where they really struggled to move the football if they couldn't throw it.
Yeah.
And certainly when you didn't have Jordan Travis and then you had DJ, it was night and day. They got exposed. That won't happen to these guys. They all come from different systems with different quarterbacks.
Only you can answer this question.
All right.
So I'm going to get it in before the news. Yay Sausage, writes Jonathan. Ira and Tom have their over-under for the length of the Gus interview on Monday's Smash. Number one, who was correct or who was closer?
I was closer. I think.
What was the guess? What'd you have?
Tom thought it would go about 6:40, 6 minutes.
It went over 10,
seconds.
didn't it?
I said 7:30.
Good
First,
job.
I was going to go.
You win.
Look, I was going to go Price's Right wagering and just go a second longer.
Yeah,
than him.
which is the right thing to do.
But then I went with 7:30. It was a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good 10 minutes.
He was. I don't think he was real fired up about the last 3 minutes.
No, I think he was done.
6.5, 7.5 minutes.
That's
We were
about the
right
end.
on the spot of where he was pretty much done.
Did he eat?
But he powered through 10. I don't think
he just rolled in.
I watched the entire interview, Corey, and I was spot on. I noticed that about the 7:22 mark, he was done.
So I'll say this, though.
It was evident.
I don't think he came in at 8. He might have. I didn't see him. I had my back. But Tony White saw me sitting there with my computer open.
Couldn't wait to talk.
Sat down, and we ate lunch together. And same with Papuchas. They were
He
at my
did
table.
that to me last year. I was like, I already like this guy.
Yeah, he's approachable and approaching.
The bald guys always love you guys.
Well, that's true.
That's
Adam
what it
Ford
is.
loves
He's
you
a
guys.
fellow bald guy.
Yeah, we can
got
relate. We're
something in
relatable.
common. Yeah, no doubt. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Your local weather forecast with Danielle Kelly.
Rain chances return and hopefully help to provide some relief from the heat. In the meantime, high temperatures stay hot in the upper 90s. An extreme heat watch is in effect until 4 p.m. Heat index or feels like temperatures up to 113 degrees possible. Today, mostly sunny, 60% chance of showers and storms, high of 98. Tonight, low of 76. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 50% chance of showers and storms, high of 95. From Real Talk 93.3, this is Danielle Kelly.
Hey everybody, this is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. Been in the industry now for 22 years. I just made the move over to the nation's largest retail lender, Cross Country Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is, again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031. You're allowed to say, I hate that movie, or I love that movie.
You can speak up publicly that you don't agree with your senator.
You can freely listen to the music of your choosing.
Yes, you can put a sign in your front yard supporting your alma mater. Why? Because you can.
You can sport a religious tattoo or an atheist symbol.
You can do all of that, part of that, or none of that.
Because it's your choice.
Thanks to freedom of speech.
Brought to you by the First Amendment.
Learn more at freedomforum.org.
This message is brought to you by Freedom Forum and the Florida Association of Broadcasters.
At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
No-liners, boys. It's a no-liner kind of headlines today, baby.
Out of control. But hey, we did it live, which was better than doing one recording an hour earlier.
This will be the last time this happens. It's not on me either, so.
But nothing's on you.
Well, of course.
Nothing's on
I
you.
just don't. I think what we've established here, I'm not sure how good of a teammate Jeff Cameron would be.
I think he's all right. He's all right. Well, if things are going well, he's fine.
He's quick to point out that it wasn't my fault.
I'm tired of the death stare that I get from Corey during breaks, coupled with for years, if anything went awry, he was like, "Oh, Cameron's over here again."
Corey will definitely pass judgment.
Well, I'm not a good teammate. You've known that forever. He's disappointed in Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
So Marlon asks, "Good day, gents. Everyone has been so focused on Tommy's ability to run and the fact that Gus's offense will allow him to run, but no one has asked him what did he learn under BC's offense and how can he translate what, if anything, he learned from a pro-style offense to make him more of a real dual threat."
Let's hear the answer.
Well, I didn't ask it exactly like that, but I got an answer from him about his time at BC and playing quarterback there, in which he said he thought it made him a better overall quarterback because he had to get more accurate as a passer, and he had to learn how to survey defenses, and he had to throw from the pocket. He said that to me when we talked about his season a year ago, and specifically I asked him about him as a passer because we all knew about his legs, and I wanted to hear him expound on who he thought he was as a passer. Kind of took offense early on. He said, not angrily at me, just the general idea that he can't throw the football. He said, quote, "I don't know where this comes from because I threw the ball well last year." And then he went on to say that that offense, listen, it may not – I want to be able to unleash all that I bring to the table, but I learned a lot from having to throw from the pocket last year.
The one thing I will be happy to not hear anymore once the season starts, and I don't think we'll hear about it much. Well, we'll see. Depends on how he does.
Depends on
he got benched at Boston College thing drives me nuts because it's not – it would be – I've made this comparison before. It would be like if you got hired to do a job. You were hired as the dishwasher – at a restaurant, and then the people came in and said, "No, now you have to run this thing that you've never been trained for."
Yeah.
Like it's you're
in charge of sandwiches now.
I mean, it's just not. That's not. He didn't sign to play in that offense. He probably shouldn't have stayed there to play in that offense. it's not like he just got benched.
Well, he didn't stay there.
No, but I know, but he shouldn't have stayed there going into last year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I meant like in the middle of the season. I think more technically he got benched. Somebody started in front of him, but I think the problem that people had was the reaction afterwards. But hey, that's in the past. 2024 is in the past. We don't ever have to think or talk about it again.
All right. Kenny says, fun exercise. Let's imagine last season never happened.
Okay.
We're coming off 20. I'll oblige. We're coming off of 2023 and the snub. How are you judging this roster going into the season without the knowledge of 2024?
If 2024 never happens and we got that kid from BC that went for 400 against that team, you'd be like, oh, my God, they got Tommy Castellanos? Yeah, man. He was MVP or whatever bowl game Boston College was in 2023. I think you'd feel pretty optimistic about it. I really do.
You would have been more optimistic than I was. But
you hate all the quarterbacks.
I don't hate all the quarterbacks. I just remember that Tommy didn't always play like he did against Florida State in the second half.
But it was cool to know that was in there.
Yeah,
if he was playing well, he could raise the bar of an entire team, and he did.
I actually think the core of this roster, the starting 22, and we're having to project at a couple of spots, but I think we can reasonably agree on who the starting 22 will likely be, or at least 18 of the 22. I think it's a pretty good team. Do I think it's elite? No. Do I think they are good in some areas? I do. I think it's a solid team.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Even the guys that were here, and obviously the guys that are coming in, is it possible that we are so jaded, like a lot of the fans are, about the guys that they have and how good they are? Because I think listening to some of the players and also the coaches talk about these guys, like the guys that came over from Nebraska, the coaching staff and players, I was at a thing where Stephon Thompson was talking about the defensive line of Florida State and how much more athletic than they are than the guys they had in Nebraska. James Williams has said similar things.
Yeah.
Well, Nebraska had some dudes on the defensive line, and they played really well. Is it possible that we don't because the sum of their parts was so bad, because as a group they played so poorly, that we don't realize there may be even more talent in some of these guys who are even returning than there actually is?
I think that's a possibility. I do. I think they may be better than we realize. I think Tony is an upgrade. I'm not trying to just besmirch Adam Fuller, but I liked this Tony White hire from the jump. I like his defense. I do think it's combustible, though, because I don't think he has a ton of depth, and we'll see if they get worn down. And I do think he's going to take more chances, but he's going to be hell-bent on stopping the run. Go a long way in helping you win some football games if you can stop the damn run. They couldn't last year at all, and that led for teams to be able to do whatever they wanted. So, yeah, I think it's possible. I'm uncertain about the depth, so I do worry about it.
And the offense is completely new. Like, all the players are new. There's really nothing – there's nothing you could have learned about this team from watching any offensive play last year, because I legitimately don't know anybody that played last year will be a part of this team.
But Gus's offense is not new.
Right, I know, but I'm saying, so the point is they might be pretty good in Gus's offense, guys that weren't here, but there's not really anything to judge on.
Last year, buddy.
But no duh.
Okay, Ambassador to Florida writes, gentlemen, I attended a Phillies game week that included a steal of home, and it's a complete game. Meanwhile, the big Amish was setting records. What is the most memorable or record-breaking thing you've ever seen at a Major League Baseball game?
Huh.
You caught me off guard with that question. Sorry about that.
Huh. I mean, I did see Sid Bream score from second. I saw Sid Bream score from second.
Go to hell with that nonsense.
A pretty important moment in the game,
It was pretty important.
I saw the Orioles get an 8-0 lead and lose.
You did recently. You saw that rather recently.
Oh, no, I did. I saw the 2019 playoffs. I saw the Braves in Game 5 against the Cardinals give up 10 runs in the first inning, which was an all-time MLB record.
I remember being at the game. I was on the air because it was a day game.
Yeah, it was a day game.
I was on the air, and I said out loud, "Oh my God, my poor buddy Corey Clark." I said it on the air.
And the 2 outs, the Cardinals had scored 1 run, 2 outs, and they scored 9 2-out runs. And the Braves, I don't know if you didn't come back and win the game, even though they're down 10-0 in the first.
Do you remember, speaking of the Braves, the night game in Atlanta about 7 years ago, in which the Pirates tagged a Braves runner
19
out
innings,
at home?
yeah. Tim just texted me about that. Yeah, it was 19 innings. It was more than that. It was like 12 or 13 years ago.
I was at that game with my wife and my brother and his wife, and homeboy is out by, legitimately 5 yards. It's not even
5 yards. He's going to football terms.
He's almost halfway down the third baseline. It's insane. And he called him safe.
Yeah, said he missed the tag.
Yeah, said he missed the tag.
They don't have review. So quit whining about it, you big baby.
That was maybe one of the more remarkable moments that I've seen.
There's got to be some good ones. I just can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Glenn C. in the chat says he was at Nolan Ryan's first career start.
Holy moly!
I would have liked to have been at a no hitter. I've never seen an MLB no hitter up close.
I almost saw the Rays no hit the Orioles 3 years ago. It was.
All right, you gotta stop going to Rays Orioles games.
Man, it's not good for you.
A couple times they've been all right, but usually not.
Oh my goodness!
Broke it up I think with 2 outs in the 8th, maybe.
Well, I didn't get to these last two. We got so excited.
Wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, Sean wanted to know if there's any punishment now if we just completely make things up since we're locked out of practices.
People seem to want that.
They want us to just make.
What are they going to take away? Our practice access? Right. We don't have it anyway.
That's it. Say goodbye, boys.
We're done.
We're done.
I had a dating question from Nick.
Next time,
Nick.
You did a good job,
Nick
Corey.
I thought I did. I brought it.
Awesome.
I brought it. I would like maybe the host to get his phone out and read Facebook, but you were doing Twitter.
I was doing Twitter,
and I did the best I could.
This is teamwork.
Yeah.
Well, look, that's what I do.
Your bad teammate comment. We're teammates here.
Yeah, this is the guy that's the bad teammate.
Yeah. Ira, we found out, so sorry teammate.
Amen.
For Ira and Corey, both great teammates, I'm Jeff. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.